she said. If you can't afford to take me to Paris, then you don't deserve to be in a relationship. Period. So I packed her bags and changed the locks. Now she's begging outside my door while I'm planning my solo trip to Tokyo. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I thought the cabin would be perfect. Madison had been stressed. Her lifestyle blog wasn't exactly setting the world on fire, so I booked us a weekend upstate. Nothing fancy, but it had a lake view and hiking trails. Cost me $400, which felt reasonable on my software engineer salary. Oh, she said when we pulled up. It's rustic. She spent the first hour trying to get Wi-Fi to work, then most of Saturday scrolling through Instagram while I built a fire. Every few minutes, she'd show me some influencer couple at a resort in Bali or Dubai. Sarah's in the Maldives with Derek, she said, angling her phone toward me. Look at that infinity pool. Nice, I said, not really looking. They've been together 6 months. 6 months, Jake. Something in her tone made me glance up. She was staring at me with this expression I couldn't quite read. Disappointed, maybe, or calculating. Are you okay? I'm fine. She went back to her phone. Just, never mind. The drive home was quiet. I kept thinking about how much effort I'd put into the weekend while she'd seemed more interested in everyone else's lives. But social media does that to people, right? Makes you feel like you're missing out. Over the next few weeks, Madison started leaving travel websites open on my laptop. Expedia searches for Paris, Rome, Barcelona. When I'd suggest local activities, concerts, new restaurants, she'd wrinkle her nose. I was thinking something more memorable, she'd say. What do you mean? Like, something we could look back on. Something worth posting about. That's when I started noticing how often she said that, worth posting about. Like experiences only mattered if other people saw them. One night she was curled up on my couch, scrolling through some travel influencer's account. The guy had posted photos from a yacht in Monaco, and Madison was studying them like homework. Don't you ever want to do something big? She asked without looking up. I do big things. I'm saving for a house. That's different. That's practical. She said it like it tasted bad. I mean something that makes you feel alive. I feel alive hiking, playing guitar, cooking with you. Madison finally looked at me. But those aren't. I mean, anyone can do those things. So, she sighed and went back to her phone. Nothing. Forget it. But she didn't forget it. Over the next week, she started following new accounts. Wealthy guys who posted about their girlfriends, expensive restaurants, private jets. One guy in particular caught my attention, Travel_Daddy_Marcus. Every photo was him with a different woman in a different exotic location. Madison started quoting him. Marcus says experiences are investments in yourself, she'd tell me. Marcus posted this thing about how men should prioritize making memories with their partners. Who's Marcus again? This entrepreneur I follow. He has really good relationship advice. Something cold settled in my stomach, but I pushed it down. Madison was allowed to follow whoever she wanted. I was being paranoid. Then she came home with printouts. Paris itinerary. 5-star hotels. First-class flights. She spread them across my kitchen table like architectural blueprints. I found the perfect trip for us, she said, practically bouncing. 8 days. We could see everything. The Louvre, Versailles, those little cafes along the Seine. I picked up the hotel pricing sheet. Madison, this is $8,000. I know it's a lot, but it's more than I make in 2 months after taxes. Her face fell. So, Sarah's boyfriend surprised her with Santorini last week. I'm starting to think. She trailed off, shaking her head. Think what? Nothing. It's just, sometimes I wonder if we want the same things. What do you want? Madison looked at the printouts, then at me. I want to feel special. I want someone who thinks I'm worth investing in. I do invest in you. I pay for most of our dates, groceries when you stay over. That's not what I mean. Her voice got sharper. I'm talking about experiences. Memories. Things that show you care enough to. She stopped, frustrated. God, how do I explain this? Try me. She took a breath. If you can't afford to take me to Paris, then you don't deserve to be in a relationship. Period. Real men provide experiences, not excuses. The words hit me like cold water. Real men. Men who understand that love is action. Marcus says, stop quoting Marcus. Why? Because he makes sense. I stared at her. Madison, I love you, but I can't spend my entire savings account on a vacation. You won't spend it. There's a difference. No, there isn't. This money is for our future. A house, emergencies, our future. She laughed, but it didn't sound happy. Jake, what if I don't want a future that's all about playing it safe? Something shifted in her expression, like she'd been holding back and finally decided to stop. What are you saying? I'm saying maybe we're not as compatible as I thought. I felt the ground move under me. Because I won't spend $8,000? Because you don't understand what I need. She started gathering up the printouts. Marcus gets it. He told Sarah that if you love someone, you show them the world. Wait, Marcus told Sarah? I thought Marcus was some influencer you follow. Madison's cheeks flushed. He is. Sarah introduced us. Online. I opened my laptop and pulled up Instagram. Found traveldaddy_Marcus easily, private account. But I could see he was following Madison. And she was following him back. Madison, are you talking to this guy? It's not what you think. What is it then? She clutched her phone against her chest. He's just a friend. Someone who understands my goals. I looked at router logs on my laptop. It took about 2 minutes to find her DM history with Marcus. Madison, my boyfriend thinks $8,000 is too much for Paris. Like, if you can't afford to treat your woman, why have one? Marcus, you deserve the world, beautiful. A man who can't provide experiences doesn't deserve a woman like you. Madison, finally someone who gets it. Marcus, I'm planning Rome next month. You should come. Let me show you how real men travel. Madison, that sounds incredible. I scrolled through 2 weeks of messages. Madison complaining about my small thinking, Marcus encouraging her to upgrade her life. The most recent message was from yesterday. First class booked. Just need to end things here first. You weren't supposed to see that, Madison said quietly. But I'm glad I did. Yeah. She lifted her chin, defiant. I am. Marcus understands what I need. And what's that? Someone who thinks I'm worth the investment. I closed the laptop. Then go to Rome. What? Go. I'll pack your stuff. Madison stared at me. You're not going to fight for me. Fight for what? For us. For what we had. I looked at her, really looked. At the woman who'd spent weeks comparing me to strangers online, who'd been planning to leave me for a man who collected girlfriends like souvenirs. What we had was me funding your lifestyle while you shop for someone with a bigger budget. That's not. It is exactly that. I went to the closet and pulled out her suitcase. And you found him. Congratulations. I started packing her clothes. Madison watched like she couldn't believe it was really happening. I thought you loved me, she said softly. I loved who I thought you were. I'm still me. No, you're someone who measures love in dollars. Someone who thinks I'm not good enough because I can't afford to fly you to Europe. I folded her sweater, placed it in the suitcase. You're someone who was planning to cheat on me while I saved money for our future. Jake, I never meant. You meant exactly this. You just didn't expect to get caught. She finished packing in silence. When she was done, she stood in my doorway with her suitcase, looking smaller somehow. You'll regret this, she said. When you're 40 and alone, you'll remember that you had someone who pushed you to dream bigger. Maybe. Or maybe I'll remember that I had someone who made me feel like I was never enough. She left. I changed the locks that night. Madison's Instagram lit up within hours. Photos of Marcus's Porsche, their boarding passes, a selfie with Rome in the background. Leveling up airplane #new chapter #worth it. I blocked her on everything and started learning Japanese. The next few months were peaceful. I got promoted at work, used the money I'd been saving to book a solo trip to Tokyo. 2 weeks exploring temples and trying ramen that cost less than Madison used to spend on brunch. Through mutual acquaintances, I heard Marcus had turned out to be controlling and possessive. After 2 weeks of treating Madison like expensive property, he dropped her at the airport and moved on to his next conquest. Her blog lost followers when they realized the luxury content was borrowed. She had to get a job at Starbucks and move in with roommates. 3 months later, she started texting. Madison, I made a mistake. Can we talk? I left it on read. Madison, Jake, please. I know I hurt you. Madison, I don't need Paris. I just need you. Still nothing from me. A week later, she showed up at my apartment. Thinner, wearing her Starbucks apron, holding a coffee like a peace offering. I learned my lesson, she said. I don't care about expensive things anymore. Good for you. Is there any chance we could try again? I was stupid. I know that now. I looked at her standing in my hallway, trying to rewrite history. Madison, you didn't make a mistake. You showed me exactly who you are. People change. Values don't. Her eyes filled with tears. Everyone makes mistakes, Jake. I thought you were better than this. Better than what? Than being so cold. I'm not cold. I just don't care anymore. She stood there another minute, waiting for me to soften, to give her an opening. When I didn't, she turned and walked away. 6 months later, I ran into her at a downtown coffee shop. She was working the register, looked tired but forced a bright smile when she saw me. Jake, you look amazing. I heard about your promotion. Thanks. I ordered my usual and stepped aside. Listen, I know things ended badly, but I've really grown. I don't need fancy vacations anymore. I've learned to appreciate simple things. That's good. Maybe we could get coffee sometime. Catch up. I don't think so. Her smile faltered. You're really going to hold one mistake against me forever? I looked at her, 26, working retail, still trying to convince me that choosing another man over me was just a mistake. Take care, Madison. I grabbed my coffee and left. These days I'm planning a trip to New Zealand. The flights are expensive, but I can afford them now. I'm going alone, which suits me fine. Sometimes I wonder if Madison found what she was looking for. Some wealthy guy willing to fund her dreams in exchange for her gratitude. Maybe she did. Maybe she learned that being bought comes with a price. Either way, it's not my problem anymore. I know what I'm worth, and it's not measured in vacation photos or designer handbags. It's measured in how I treat myself and the people who actually value me. And that's worth more than any trip to Paris. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.